At just the age of 20, Christiaan Carsten hopes to be a ward councillor in his community and change the lives of the working class. Christiaan is a first-year BA student at Unisa and a member of the Young Communist Party. He's the youngest ANC candidate in the running for the seat in the upcoming local government elections. He joins us now to tell us more about his quest and the journey so far. Christiaan, very good morning to you. Thank you so much for joining us on Newzroom Afrika. Congratulations. I mean, you are taking on a big role. What inspired you to want to run for this position?
Well, good morning. Thank you very much. Well, I believe that South Africans, we should come together. We should definitely work together. And I believe that other countries around the world have shown us when the majority of people work together, come up with cohesive plans to improve their lives, it can be achieved. Countries such as China, it's got some of the biggest banks in the world, the best rail network in the world. It's one of the top green energy producers and so forth. And I believe countries such as China can teach us a lot of lessons. A mixed economy, private sector, state sector, 5-year economic plans, and construction projects such as that have inspired me to want to give my part in our country.
To want to give your part in the country, you could have chosen to want to do this for any other party, but you chose the ANC. And you've certainly broken stereotypes and really joined a party that you wouldn't typically be associated with if we have to stereotype, a young man, Afrikaans. What inspired the move? Why the ANC? It's quite fascinating.
Well, the long and short of it is, I believe that more socialist-oriented policies would be more appropriate for South Africa. Policies with more government intervention leading the economy. And the more I've been researching and watching the news, all of those things, I think it's become clear that countries such as China, the policies of the countries such as China is more preferable towards policies like that propagated by forums like the IMF and the World Bank and so forth. So, yeah, the more I've been researching and reading and all of those things, studying the situation, the more I came to the conclusion that the socialist policies or more socialist kind of policies would be more preferable for our situation here. And I believe that the ANC and the ANC alliance is the formation for that in South Africa.
Let's talk a little bit about your upbringing, Christiaan, and the kind of influence that led you to these decisions and allowing you to go into the space of politics and make sure that you resonate with young people.
Well, I've been interested in history from a young age. It was through that I heard many inaccuracies regarding our country and regarding false news and so forth, regarding things like white genocide, for example. And I decided to get to the bottom of that. And it was through that which I came across communist politics and so forth. I think it's clear that the communist politics, it really does give the youth a platform to push for policies that we have seen work before. And yeah, I would say that.
The falsehoods and the white genocides, just give us more expansion and depth on what you mean here.
Well, there's a myth going around in South Africa that white people are being systematically slaughtered, all kinds of things like that. But it's crime. We have a crime problem in South Africa. Every country in the world has problems with crime. And that problem is being racialized still to this day. And I remember about 2 years ago, it was quite intense. And it was through that, as I said, I was fearful, to be honest, from all the fake news going around. And I wanted to see what's going on. Mm-hmm. And that's when I realized it was one of the biggest lies ever told.
Do you think that, you know, as you mentioned this, I mean, it brings to my mind the big issue of farm killings. We saw a lot of farm workers coming out in their numbers wanting to meet and speak to the president, the police minister coming out to also listen to the cries of white farm workers who are speaking about the escalating death. I mean, is that what you refer to when you speak about some falsehoods, but with some truth that may be aligned to it?
I agree with you. I agree with you. I think that true facts, horrible things like farm murders and so forth, I believe it is being politicized into a deliberate act by the government or by African people and so forth, black people, to systematically target white people to kill them. I think that's nonsense. However, as you say, there are definitely farm attacks, brutal farm attacks, and that should be condemned. And I condemn it.
Yeah. How did you come to choosing the ANC? I mean, let's talk about the feedback that you perhaps may have received from your community members, your family, and the reaction to you choosing to align with the ANC.
Well, I think if we look at post-1994 South Africa, I think the ANC, in spite of all the mistakes that it definitely has made, has proven to be able to be the party that has improved the lives of the people. It's electrified millions of households, water, sanitation facilities, NSFAS, lots of subsidies to the poor, all kinds of things like that. And I believe that we should build on that legacy. And the reason I chose the ANC, well, I think if there's a fire in your house, you put out the fire in your house. You don't go build another house while there's a fire in your house. So I've come to my house to help put out the fires and to build on what the good things that the ANC has achieved. My family is very supportive, but I have a broad family with many political views in it. And but they do respect my decision, and yeah.
And have you received any sort of criticism?
I've received very much criticism over the last 2.5 years. I've been threatened with a weapon before. I've been assaulted before. So, yeah, people have very interesting opinions.
Let's talk a little bit about your studies and your political influence. I mean, I see that you mentioned reading Vladimir Lenin, of course, a controversial leader who's widely remembered in history, especially during the 20th century. Indeed,
Lenin is a very highly revered figure within world politics, and definitely inspirational. Well, through my studies, I definitely just hope to be in any position possible to be able to serve the people, wherever that may be, however that may be. And I do hope that the political studies and leadership, that I'm taking on Unisa will assist with that and make me the most competent person I can be to serve the people.
What concerns you about the sort of problems and the cries of the people, especially during a time like this of COVID-19, where the youth are jobless? The youth who may be educated still have no access to jobs, and unemployment is a huge factor, especially amongst the youth.
Indeed, it is. And I think that goes to show that we have to have a new trajectory in South Africa in terms of economics. Since 1994, we have been pursuing a neoliberal economic kind of outlook, and I definitely believe we should be looking more towards the socialist outlook. State-led 5-year economic plans, targeted at infrastructure, providing housing, all of those things, and through that you can create the jobs in the process. I definitely think we should be focusing on that instead of deregulation or privatization and so forth. I think privatization will worsen the situation in South Africa.
Just a short while ago, as we were speaking about the criticism you may have received, is it criticism for joining the ANC from black and white people, or where is it coming from? I mean, you speak about also being harassed.
Well, the vast majority of that criticism has come from, unfortunately, the white community. But I believe perhaps, one day we can fix that. We can fix that.
And how are you hoping to make a difference in your community should you really, get the job?
Well, I'm hoping to send a message to the public here, and especially to young people and to the working class, that the more people we involve in politics, the further we'll get. More hands make easy loads, So the more people we get and the more we put our minds together, the quicker we will come to solutions, and the quicker we can fight for those solutions and the implementation thereof.
Christiaan, very lastly, before we let you go, what is your political fiber? What do you stand for as an up-and-coming politician, young, enthusiastic at the age of 20, hoping to make a difference?
Well, I stand for a socialist South Africa, a South Africa with 5-year economic plans, state banks, state farms, big state industry, but with a strong private sector, where the economy as an entirety functions to fulfill social ends, and not just merely private profit accumulation of select individuals. That is the message I want to push. I want to push that message. 5-year plans and power to the people.
And who are you hoping to inspire? Pardon me, who are you hoping to inspire? Who are you hoping to inspire?
I'm hoping to inspire the South Africans obviously. I'm hoping to inspire the youth and the working class in general.
Very well. Thank you so much for your time and sharing that with us. That, of course, is the ANC's youngest election candidate at the age of just 20 years old. He's hoping to become a ward councillor there. Christiaan Carsten there, speaking about his hopes and his vision and the sort of influence that he'd like to have within his community and in the political space at large.